All right, so I'm back. Now, before we get into anything, I just want to say to everyone that's kind of messaged me, emailed me, checked in, showed some love, thank you. Honestly, you guys didn't have to, but you did. And that means a lot. Especially some of you guys I don't even know. It's been, what, 5 years since I uploaded a video onto YouTube? So I figured it's only the right thing to do a quick video explaining where I've been, what's been happening, and what's coming next. So straight off the bat, I'm not going to lie to you, I fell out of love with health and fitness. There, I said it. Now, don't get it twisted. Not the training itself. I love lifting. I love pushing myself. I love the grind. For most people know, I train more for my mental health than anything physical anyway. But the fitness industry, yeah, that got kind of messy. Now we're gonna go all the way back to the pandemic. And it felt like everyone suddenly became a fucking personal trainer. You had these influencers who have literally always had abs. I mean, they literally came out of their mum's pum-pum shredded as fuck. And they were out here giving fitness advice. And the girls, genetically gifted ladies. You know the ones I'm talking about. Tiny waists, big booty, and they never trained a day in their motherfucking life. But now all of a sudden, they're a coach. These people are out here telling people how to get abs in 4 weeks or grow your backside in 6 days. Meanwhile, the rest of us who actually know, we're like, that's not how that works. There were people out there selling cookie cutter meal plans that they just Googled and copied and pasted into a little Word document, turned it into PDF, and then sent it to people. There was no experience. There was no real education, just scams wrapped up in nice lighting and filters. And me being me, I just couldn't keep quiet. Remember, I don't tell people what they want to hear. I tell them what they need to hear. And not everyone likes that. So whilst everyone was out there selling dreams, I was out there saying, my friend, that £20 workout that you just bought, that's bullshit. Literally copied from the internet. But apparently that's not what people wanted to hear. Who knew, right? Then the lockdowns hit, gyms closed, in-person training dried the fuck up. I had to pivot. Not only was the world a massive ball of stress. I mean, man was out here trying to go down to Lidl to try and get some fucking toilet roll. And that felt like I was going to battle. I had my own priorities, I had my own responsibilities. And I needed to make money, as we all did. So I joined OnlyFans. No, I'm joking. So I went back into recruitment. Now this is something I've done before. And here's a little story. During the pandemic, I was checking in on all my people. And for me, the pandemic opened my eyes to a lot of people because there are people that said that they really cared about my well-being and whatever, but really and truly, those people didn't check in on me. But the people that did check in on me, I made sure to check in on them. But that conversation, I would always ask what was happening to their mental health. Because as men, we find it a hard time to talk about mental health. And I remember my friend asking me how I was doing with my mental health. And I said, I'm not doing too good. I explained my situation, I explained what was going on. And then my guy offered me a job. Said that they could use my help. I was for a company that I worked with before. So I was like, cool, I'll do it for a bit until this whole pandemic thing blows over and then, you know, man will come back. Next thing I know, 3 years go by. Now, with the recruitment, it wasn't something that I loved. However, it was something that I was good at. I worked my way up and I got really high. I'm doing well. And then it hit me. I'm standing at a crossroads right now. The contract that I was working with, where I was a culinary talent partner, had just ended. And now I was looking at my next contract or job. And as it is, at the time, I mean, it still is, the job market was oversaturated, especially for recruitment. So I'm stood there saying, yo, I can be a recruitment manager. However, a lot of the interviews that I had, they were giving out some bullshit salaries and expecting your soul. And because the job market was so oversaturated, there were a lot of people that were willing to do a lot for a little amount of money. So it was very difficult. I mean, as I said, it's not something I enjoyed. I was good at it. Recruitment manager, corporate life, the 9-to-5 grind. Do I keep going down this road? Again, it's not something I have a passion for, but I'm good at it. Or do I go back into fitness, where my real passion is? And the only reason fitness came back into my mind was because of a few of my best friends. See, I was belly aching about, you know, the salaries that were being put out there and the fact that they wanted my soul and they weren't really willing to pay a lot of money for it. Not my soul, for the job. And a lot of my best friends said, look, why don't you go back into the fitness industry? They know what my passion is. They know, well, they tell me I'm good at it. And previous success said that I was good at it. So maybe that should be an actual option. Or do I actually open an OnlyFans? Last one's a joke. I mean, the temptation was real, but don't worry, I spared you all the trauma for now. So after talking to some of my good friends, I thought, yeah, you know what? Let me apply for a couple gyms that were looking for personal trainers. And I remember applying for 4 jobs. The first one I heard back from and instantly wanted a phone call. Spoke to them. They were kind of like a bougie gym. Not gonna lie, just from the recruiter that I was talking to and the outset of the gym, I was like, I don't think my shit will be welcomed here too much. Then the second gym called up, invited me for an interview. I walked in. They had a list of, let's say, 30 questions-ish. And I just started talking passionately, as I do. And by question 4, they'd already put the paper down. I'd answered all their questions just by talking. That was when I knew, yeah, this is what I'm meant to be doing. Now, truth be told, even whilst I was doing recruitment, I never fully left fitness. I still had my online coaching running in the background. I still kept a few clients that I was seeing. I worked with them at a few different gyms, you know, tweak their diets on WhatsApp, improve their habits. But juggling all of that on top of 12-hour days, yeah, it was a madness. I was waking up at like 3 a.m. to go and train a client at 5 a.m. and train another client and then maybe get a little bit for myself before I started work at 9 a.m. Life was so hectic that I didn't have the opportunity to do what I'm doing right now, which is making content. I recorded videos, but didn't post it yet. I had it on private. And you know, what I would normally do is film a whole bunch of videos and then schedule it so that I'm ahead and then try to continue topping it up. But what I found was I made a video and then weeks would go by before I was able to make another. So it just wasn't fair on you guys and it wasn't sustainable for me. So I made the hard call, which was stop, take a step back and sort my life out. And that's exactly what I did. Now fast forward to today. I'm back doing what I love properly. I've got time again. I've got energy. And most importantly, I've got that fire again. The YouTube channel is back up. The real talk is back. The no nonsense advice is motherfucking back. Because let's be honest, there's a lot of bullshit floating around out there. I see people eating raw cow testicles and call it ancestral living. People telling you carbs are evil. Or drink this kale smoothie and your trauma disappears. We've got influencers who are selling their soul to get a few clicks and a few views for, what, a little bit of money. And people are fucking confused. Should I go vegan, keto, paleo? Should I eat a cow dick? Like, please stop. I'm back with an effort to bring common sense back to fitness. And as always, I'm going to keep it real. I'm going to tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to. So yeah, that's what's been going on. That's where I've been. However, this is the start of something new. And what I'd like to think is something better. During my time away, not only have I educated myself, I've still gained experience. I've used myself as a guinea pig as always. And I've trialed new things. And what's worked, I've kept and used it with clients. And what didn't work, I've fucked it off. Now, if you're new here, hit subscribe. If you've been around here since day one, thank you. Stick around, share this video, and let's get back to doing what we do best. Training hard, staying honest, and building the best versions of ourselves.